Hello and welcome. This is Alicia of the Chardon Sign Shack coming to you live from Chardon, Ohio. And I'm just trying to clear up some of my mess here. Hello and welcome. Say hello as you hop on. I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas. We did. It was very nice. I got my dad's phone out here in preparation today because my phone and my iPad, which I don't even know where it's at, have been acting all wonky. So let me get everything set up here. Believe it or not, I've been getting ready for a long time. I know that sounds crazy. Okay, let me just get here on my Facebook. Like, how could I be here and I'm not? Hi, Deanna. Hello, Heather. Hi, Bronwyn. How are you? I'm assuming you're still on break. Hi, Sandy. How are you? Happy New Year, everyone. Okay, let me just get my secondary device up here. Okay, awesome. So I think I have everyone. Happy New Year, Sherry. How are you? Hello, April. Yes, Happy New Year to everybody. It's hard to believe it's going to be 2025 really soon. Hi, Vicki. Hi, Stacy. Thank you. Hi, Maggie. How are you? Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you for sprinkling. Sprinkling, if you don't know, hi, Valerie, means to do this. I have the new share, I didn't say that, the new sprinkle sign in my cart, and I'll be getting it. I usually do my orders like the first of the month. And I'm so glad you're here, Bronwyn. Make sure to sprinkle. And we'll be having a great giveaway today. And the giveaway we're going to have, it's one I'm going to be actually doing. Remember the hinge sign that I did a couple weeks ago? Hi, Kelly. Hi, Karen. I'm going to make this into a hinge sign, which it may be hard to see, but I had this pulled out. So this is what we're going to do for the giveaway today. This is really cute. I've made it before on a canvas. I don't have it because it's long sold. But let me just find the number on it. This is number 9263, and this is the extra small. And I'm going to do this like we did the snowman hinge sign. It's a really cute owl. I love you with all my heart. And then it's got the little overlays for the owl. So this will be the giveaway today if you just sprinkle. Thank you for pre-sprinkling and sprinkling. So it has two overlays on it. You can see 1 and 2. But I think this will be really cute. I'm going to make this for my my great niece. Is that my great niece. So it'll be for my great niece. My great niece just had a baby, a little girl. And so I'm going to make this a cute little hinged book for her bedroom. But I'm going to set this aside. I'll show this a couple more times, but this will be the giveaway today. So make sure you sprinkle. And we love sprinkles. It makes us grow. It makes April and Pete at the Stencil Smith. Oh, isn't that new brush amazing? Judy is referring to the new brush. I've cracked one out and I still have this one in the case to show, but this is the new brush. And it's a really, really nice, beautiful base coating brush. Goes on very, very smooth. But it's their newest brush. It just came out about a week or two ago, a couple weeks ago maybe. I think it was like right before Christmas it came out. So the stencils we're doing today, and I apologize that I had scheduled last Monday. I was going to try and do a live, but I swear between I haven't worked at the apple orchard in a long time, and I have one of my really good friends, an ex-sister-in-law. I work at her jewelry shop usually every Christmas, and I was working a lot between the two jobs, and then I got sick, and I just could not get myself together on top of wrapping. I realized I hadn't wrapped anything. And I hadn't even done like the shopping for the Christmas meal. And so it was just like, I was overwhelmed last Monday. But I appreciate it, and I appreciate everybody for being here today and for being flexible. Again, so sorry about that, but that's just the way life goes, right? It sure does, Bonnie. And yes, I'm sure you guys were all super, super busy too. Hi, Rhonda, how are you? So so this is going to be, I always show this. If you want to screenshot it, you can, but you could also, after the live, when I post this video, it'll, at the very top, it'll be, these links will be there and it'll take you right to it. But we're going to do 9729, and that's a medium. That's going to be this stained glass one right here, this beautiful Cardinal. And you can tell, like, when you're looking at it, which way is the right way. I mean, it doesn't really matter in this case, but it'll be the, if you don't know, the number that's engraved on it will be on the front of it. Lots of times I can't see it. I have to feel around for it, like it's right there. So that'll be the front of your stencil. So it's that stencil, and that's the medium. And then this, your life was a blessing, your memory a treasure, you are loved beyond words and missed beyond measure, which I am going to, I made a couple of years ago, a really pretty, I did it on a live, I don't know if you remember, but it was another Cardinal, and I think it said, I'm always with you. And yes, this one is on sale too. So it really pairs well together. And then this pairs, this is really nice with the angel wings. I've done this with the angel wings. It's a really, really nice saying. But what I did was I did a sign for my mom a couple years ago, and I put it at her headstone. And I went there about a month or two ago, and it was looking really wore out. So, but you have to remember that it's like this. I have it, this is going to be a little bit bigger, but I get those garden stakes. I have longer ones too. I think this is one I cut down, but this is an old thing I was going to do something with. But this is what I do with my sign for her, and that's what I have hers on, and then it just sticks in the ground there. And it's really, really a nice way if your cemetery allows that. Now, the cemetery that my mom is at, she is allowed, not she, but everybody there, people leave like all kinds of things, lights, just everything. So I need to redo her sign. So this is going to be, this one is for mom, for my mom. And she loved Cardinals, and she painted back in her day too. So she would really, really love this sign. So this is the way I'm going to put it together on the board. And make sure it is, Bonnie, especially if your cemetery allows it. Like my husband, Jeff, his mom, her cemetery does not allow stuff like that. They allow you to put a cross, a wooden cross at winter, but that's it. You have to take it in the spring, but her cemetery does not allow anything like that. But if yours does, it's a great idea to memorialize your loved one. And let me, I don't know, where am I? Here it is. I think this is 29. It's a 1x12, and I cut it 29.25 inches. So 29.25 inches. So it's a 1x12 cut 29.25 inches. And then, of course, you know, if you didn't want to add this to it, hi, Mary, how are you? Welcome. I hope you enjoy the live and all in your family is there. That's one. I mean, it's not wonderful that they're there, Bonnie, but it's wonderful that they allow that. I'm going to put that back up there. And I forgot to say too, I think I forgot to say, they're on sale today for 20% off. And you can save an additional 15% with my code SIGNSHACK, SIGNSHACK. You can use that anytime to save you 15%, which I'm so excited to get my order in. I cannot wait to order those zip codes. Did you see the zip codes? And there's something else I was super excited about. The zip codes. I want to get the new sprinkle sign, which make sure you sprinkled. That's nice, Rhonda. Hi, Julie. How are you? Oh, my goodness, Julie. I hope that's going well. I mean, the fact that you're having cardio rehab means that you're on the right path of getting better, so that's great. Best wishes for a speedy recovery. But welcome, Mary. And if you're wondering what to sprinkle means to do this. And we'll have a giveaway today, which is this little stencil, which is a really cutie, especially, you know, like for babies, little girls. I've had this ordered a couple times for little girls. I'm excited now that I have my rake brush to add a little bit. Weren't they great? I know, I cannot wait to get those. I think those are going to be really, really good sellers. But I can't wait to do a little bit of wispies with the owl now that we have the rake brush. And if you're wondering what the rake brush is, I was just using it yesterday, is that fabulous brush right there, which we're going to use it next week on our live. But just to give you an idea, especially if you're new, this is what you can do with your rake brush. Look how realistic that beard looks with all those little wispies and the depth and the contrasting colors. I just did him the other day, and the rake brush is just an absolutely awesome tool for beards. And thank you, Lynn. I appreciate that, and stuff like that. And chicken feathers, like all kinds of things. Basket weave. Hi, Donna. How are you? Yeah, the rake brushes are awesome. So I'm going to get started actually right away. Let me see how I want to do this. Maybe let's do this. It's always a balancing act. I know every time you guys are on, or I'm on, I'm like, I'm in the middle of reorganizing, but I really am. I've got most of my stencils in these folders, which April had a great giveaway in the Paint Share group. And these are amazing. And I've been buying this brand, the Sui's, but look at the beautiful, it's got all black, so you can put your stencils in there. The rake brush looks like this. And I don't know where my water, oh, there's my water. So I'll show you. This is the rake brush right here. So to give you an idea, and we're going to use it next week, so I can show you a little more. And I've done some other lives with it. But see all the little fabulous, see how it's like all feathery there? That makes, and I've had other rake brushes. This is just amazing. This is the best brush. But look at the little, just to show you the detail, like the wispiness of that beard. Right there, and that's all from the rake brush. And it's the most fabulous tool, great for feathers. I did it on a straw hat, made it look like the thatching or whatever you call it. I think that might be what you call it, but I'm not 100% sure. So, but I know my listeners, my followers, my friends will let me know if that's what it is. Oh, I'm sorry, Sherry. Maybe go out and come back in. I have had an awful time. So I'm just gonna, I'm gonna actually do both of these on here at the same time. Is it down enough? Let's go like this. Let's see how I want to do this. If you're new to stenciling, you definitely want to tape your stuff down. I just use painter's tape. And again, this is a 1x12 that I've cut 29.25 inches. And because this is on a board that's been painted black, as many of you know, I am going to have to put a base coat on it. Otherwise, your colors don't show up that well. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. Move some stuff over. Okay, and let me get a new, right there. Because my old ones, I still got some paint on it. It's starting, Sometimes I use them over and over, but it gets hard to see the paint. Or I was going to do a wet palette before I started and I didn't get time. So I am going to start with a gray. So I'm going to use this slate gray right here. And the reason I am doing this is because you have to have some kind of base on black or really dark colors, like really dark browns, sometimes red, stuff like that, because the colors won't pop without it. So I'm going to go over this whole thing with a coat of gray to begin with. And I used to use white, but I've been using gray, and I like that better. So to start with, we'll just start up here. Pardon my mess that way. On this, and the stained glass looks best on black. It just does. But if you don't put this gray coat on here first, which I'm getting the paint, this is my fabulous 1/2" Stencil Smith brush, and you can see how it's a little bit like goopy. I mean, it's not a lot, but you can see how wet it is. What you want to do is you want to offload, which I just rub it on a shop towel. You can use shop towels, coffee filters, you can use paper, you can use your paper plate that does not offload as well. You can use paper towels. I like shop towels. They go a long way and they're very absorbent. So I'm going to just start. I've offloaded it. So as you see, if you're new, I know we had someone new here. I don't know how much you painted or stenciled, but you want a dry brush. That is the key to not getting bleeds, which sometimes I still get bleeds. It's not a biggie, but I like to prevent them as much as I can. I will tell you the first stencil project I ever did. So we're just going to go over this. We're going to continue to get paint on the brush, offload, and then do a nice base coat of this gray here. And then we'll go on to the other colors. And I'm just swirling that very lightly. Some people I've seen do this. To me, I don't like that. Unless I'm having some reason trouble with my color coding, would I do that? I'm a swirler. I like to swirl. And if you just lightly swirl, you don't have to press down super hard or anything like that. Your paint goes on beautifully. And if you've offloaded it enough, you won't have bleeds. So that's a very nice thing. Bronwyn, you like using shop towels too? Oh, everything looks good on black. And I tell you what, I do prefer black because now wood is super expensive. Even pine, common pine, which is what I use, has gotten so expensive here. Like, so you have the tannins and the little knots. The knots, they bleed. I do use bin primer and shellac to seal those, but sometimes even when you do that, especially if it's left in hot sun for a long time, you still get those awful bleeds. So I don't like to do things in white as much unless it's an inside piece or it's something I know that's not going to be exposed to a lot of sun. Sometimes it's unavoidable. And I do like to tell my customers too that there's a possibility of that. There are other woods that you can use that don't do that, but they're very expensive. And most of us that are trying to do this are trying to make money on it, so. Yeah, I haven't had that problem with black, Debbie. And I still take care to seal them. But the white definitely does. But I do prefer I had somebody ask me today, I think it was on my page, I can't remember who it was, but if they could do this on canvas. And you can certainly do anything you want on canvas. I've done a lot of canvases. I prefer the ones at Hobby Lobby or Jerry's Artorama you can order. But I like the real thick, chunky canvases. I don't think I brought anything, but I have a couple. Right, let me grab. So like this is one. But they're real thick, chunky canvases. I really like these because they set, well, they do, believe it or not, but they set really nice. So they can set out or you can hang them. So I do like those, and you can certainly use those. They paint up beautifully. Oh, I should have grabbed the one. I have one in my room that I have hanging on my wall. I'll show it next week. But I did, is that the one I did a live on? I don't think it's the one I did a live on. But I really like the saying. It says, what does it say? Let what you do today be enough, or something like that. I can't remember the exact saying. But I have to look at it and think, okay, today it's been enough. This time of year, people start talking about like your intention, your word for the year and stuff like that. And usually mine every year is the same thing, grace. I have to learn to give myself grace. As I think most of us do. We're either juggling grandkids or parents or something. I know I myself, I take care of my father. And he is sick. So when you're a caretaker for somebody, whether it's your parent or anybody else, it can be very stressful. But anyhow, what would your word of the year be? So I'm sorry. Let me just move this a little bit right here. I am using slate gray, Debbie. And I brought out Pebble to use, but I didn't squirt that out from Fusion Mineral. I like Fusion Mineral a lot. It's my favorite paint, but I do use like Deco Arts, Folk Art, stuff like that. Especially when I'm doing a lot of like blending and stuff like that. But I do prefer the Fusion for the outside because it has a built-in top coat on it and it holds up longer. Okay. Your word is grace, Becca. Balance. Yep, that would be about the same thing I need in my life. Health, that's a good one. You're welcome, Debbie. So I'm just going to go down and I'm going to do these words here in gray too. My thing keeps freezing up, my secondary device. It used to be so nice. You'd be able to be on your secondary device. You could see comments on it. And now I can't see comments. I even brought my dad's phone out because if you've been with me the last couple of lives, I'm like, Dad, can I borrow your phone? I've had to run back in because then my comments freeze up almost when I'm done. And I can't read who the winner is for the beautiful giveaway that April is so nice to give away. So if you are new to us, I am Alicia and I am the ambassador for the Stencil Smith. My company is called Chardon Sign Shack, and I'm here in Northeast Ohio. And I love painting. I love creating. I love sharing techniques with people. I learn things from people. People learn things from me. Like I'm still learning every day. You can always grow. And April and Pete, they are the owners of the Stencil Smith, which is this absolutely wonderful stencil company that's here in my state of Ohio. They're Central Ohio, and they're a husband and wife team. Their customer service is beyond anything that you could ever imagine. They really care about their company. The shipping is fast. Now today, whatever you order, like after this live, won't be sent out till tomorrow because here it's Eastern Standard Time. So it's going to be after 5 o'clock when I'm done. But April will go in first thing in the morning. They cut everything to order. Nothing is ever out of stock. You can get multiple sizes. That's why I say, like, this is a size medium and this is an 11.25 inch one, because you can get multiple different sizes and they're listed. I like the hazy white stencils. Those are my favorite. It's a 10 mil Mylar. But they are just the most wonderful, talented people, and they're very, very kind. Well, thank you, Judy. I appreciate that. Oh, you can't cast lives to your TV anymore? I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. It took me a half a year to figure out how to do my like cover photo for my lives when I'd been doing it one way all this time. Okay, I'm going to use a little bit of Liberty Red for my Cardinal. This is a fusion mineral color. This is a really, really beautiful red, and I think it's going to be perfect for the Cardinal. But yeah, everything's always in stock. They don't do special orders, but they do take suggestions if you ever have something that you're looking for. If there is something like, say, this one right here that's the giveaway, if you need a size that she doesn't have listed, April will do her best to resize it to the size you need. Let me get this dried paint off the top of it. And, you know, it's so weird. I couldn't find half my fusion paints. I don't know what happened. I had this real pretty blue. I've got every blue they make, I think, just about. But it was called Little Lamb. And it's a perfect blue for this, but I couldn't find it. So I'm going to try paisley with it. I might add a little white to that paisley. So I'm going to start with probably... I got some new brushes for Christmas. Yay. Look how beautiful they are. These are the brushes. And yeah, I think Liberty Red's going to be really, really beautiful. I love that snowman, Judy. Sherry, don't start that. I went back and I saw that because I think that's the day I couldn't see comments at all. And April actually, she messaged me after the live. She's like, you have to go back and read the comments about the Liberty, you know, the commercial, because she said they were very funny. I don't know if it was Stacy that started it. Somebody started it, but it was very funny because I was using Liberty Red because it's also a very good, not just Cardinal red, but it's a very good 4th of July red. It's also a very good Santa red. It's just a very good overall red. But see, if you didn't have this on here, it would not... I'll show you like on the back. So this is something I did with their snowflake mandalas, but on the back of it, I'll just show you. It doesn't really show up. So that's why you have to base coat it. It makes a huge difference. But these stained glass windows, there's a stained glass one I did about a month, or no, it's probably been 2 or 3 months ago. And it was the Nativity, and it was "Oh come let me adore them, they adore them." I can't remember how it goes now. My goodness, come us adore them. But it's beautiful. It's such a pretty stencil, and the design is just amazing. And if you add just a little bit of highlighting here and there, it really turns out pretty. Let me move some. I have to make sure I keep this in the, I'm sorry, guys. I want to make sure you can see everything. And we're just going to go down here and add more red. And the red will probably take, I know it'll take 2. It may even take 3. Red is a funny color. But boy, when it pops, it just pops. So pretty on that black. So this is like the frame. Oh, you know what? I have a picture of the, let's see. So this is a picture. That's the, it's cut off, but oh, come let me adore him. Oh, come let us adore him. That was the stained glass one, and it just looked absolutely beautiful. So pretty. You're painting. It reminds me of painting. Yeah, exactly. And you can always, you could, my videos are always there. I never delete them. So you can go back and you can replay it. You can save them. I don't think you can save it right now, but you can save them after the live. And we do have a great group called Paint and Share with the Stencil Smith, which I think just about everybody is a member of, that I would recommend joining. Judy Rogers, that we all do. Liberty Blue. Yeah, Liberty Blue is really, oh, it's Liberty Blue. That's right, it's Fort York Red. Okay. You are right, guys, see? It's Fort York Red. Sorry about that. Everybody's going to be looking for Liberty Red, but they're not going to find it. So I'm getting this Cardinal in here. And these brushes are so nice. You really don't have to do any taping off, especially with the smaller ones. And usually I have them kind of facing you. This is a hard Liberty. Well, you guys can do Liberty anyhow. I'm not using, I don't think, that blue. I couldn't find it. I don't know where my two blues went. Oh, maybe there's Little Lamb. Little Whale, that's what it is. It's not Little Lamb. It's Little Whale. This is a nice blue. See, Jeff, if he's watching this, he'll be like, I told you. I'm really bad. I'll clean up my brushes and I'll clean up my stencils. But you know how it is. You get organized, then you paint one time or you create and you just have a mess everywhere. And he's like, you don't go on until you clean up your first mess. But out here in the garage, I just got lots of messes going on. But I think we talk about that every live, and I'm not abnormal. All you guys have that going on. So let's see. I'm going to put, because this will be his little black mask of a face, like he's a little bandit. And I could have used a smaller one on that even. This is the 1/2 inch. I might have been able to go with the 5/8, maybe. So we've got our red covered, and I'm going to put that in a baggie. And I keep wet wipes in a baggie. Oh, I already got, oh, that's my gray one. And that way they stay moist while I'm painting. And I want to do these birch trees. We'll do those in white. I don't think I have enough casement in there. Oh, I hope I can get this casement open. Okay, I can. Good. I'm going to use some casement, which is Fusion Mineral White. I'm going to dump just a little bit out. And I'm going to get another brush, and I think I'm going to get another 5/8. Should I get a, yeah, I'm going to get a 5/8. And I'm going to dip that in my paint, and I'm going to offload, and I'm going to start on my tree here. I maybe should have gone a little bit smaller. I might have to go a little bit smaller because it's going into the other. Let me get a little bit. It's like one of those areas where it's big yet it's small. I should have went for a 1/2 inch. I think the 1/2 inch will be easier to control. A 1/2 inch. I'm going to get the 1/2 inch. There, that's a little better. And I'm just starting to swirl that in there. I might swipe a little bit by the sides. And you could use your even smaller one, the 3, is it the 3/8? This is the 3/8, but that would take a little bit more time. And this is a branch here. And you know what I think I'm going to do? I don't normally do this, but I'm going to grab my little piece of flashing here. I may have to go down even one more size, I think, on the brush. Let's do that. I'm going to just put this in water right now. Okay. So let's go down to the 3/8. This is what I should have done all along. And I'm offloading. And let's get that branch. Yeah, the first sign I think I started telling you that I ever did, oh my goodness, it was, yeah, this is better. It's getting in the smaller spots. I did this. I didn't know to offload, and I didn't know anything about something called swirling, and I had paint everywhere, and I had a lot of bleeds. It was very discouraging, especially when I had to clean up all those bleeds. That's another tree there. And so let's just swirl this. Yeah, this is a much better size. You have so much more control. I should have probably done the whole thing, even the robin and this in the 3/8 size, which there's an even smaller one, which is really nice. And we're going to need, I know, 2 coats of white here. And the trees go on there. But this is kind of like a, like Rhonda was saying, it's kind of like a paint by number. That's what it reminds me of. But it's so pretty. We've had really nice weather. Over Christmas, we went, it was 60 degrees the other day, and my grandson and I went for a bike ride, and we went, he calls it off-roading, but the bike trail meets up with a park, and we went to the park. And then when he likes to go off the trail, and he calls that off-roading, he thinks he's super cool. So we did all that. We were gone about 3.5 hours. We had such a good time, and it was such nice weather. Right there. Thank you. I'll do that as soon as I get this tree in here. I think I did that with something on the stained glass window too, on the nativity. I left something out, and I think it was Sherry caught it, and she's like, you need to paint that. Don't stroke out, girls. It's just paint. I appreciate the help. I'm not doing this one upside down like I usually do. So let's get the tail feathers. We're gonna, you know what? We need to do the tree here too. It's like I forgot the bottom half of the stencil. I had my paper sitting over it. So let's get the tail. And we'll get the rest of this tree, because we can't leave a tree down, right? Birch trees are so pretty. We don't have that many in our area anymore for some reason. I don't know if it's a disease or an insect, but a lot of them have died. We had one in our side yard, but it's since died too. I grabbed that big brush again, and I have the little one now. Let me get that one. I start talking too, and I get distracted. How do you keep the white from showing? Well, I've been using gray, Chris, and it works a lot better, and I try not to go real heavy when I'm doing the base coat out to the edges. The gray seems to be doing much better for me, I need to get that there too. Goodness, I'm leaving half of this down. But if you do have white showing, you could always take a nice liner brush and just, you know, nobody really wants to do that. But you can take a liner brush and fill it in. I mean, nobody wants to do more work than they have to, really. But sometimes you have to. But like this, this gnome here, like, so this is on a, I used a gray undercoat for it, and it seems like it does a lot better. It doesn't show like the white does. So I use that, and it's much, I like it a lot better. And I've been using this slate gray a lot. You can even use a really light blue, like this winter blue from Deco Arts. You could use that. But light gray works. And then, like I said, if you get a little bit, you can use your little Stencil Smith liner brushes and fix it right up. But it's rare. Let me make sure I have all my white done. I'm chatting. This is sky, sky, sky. Okay, so we just got the blue here. What do I want to do? Do I want to do paisley? Or do I want to do, I feel like Little Whale might be too, let me see. May not be dark enough. All my paints have those little, you know, those little like goober things they get on them. That they, those little dried pieces of paint. And they seal them up. So I'm going to use a little bit of blue here. And this is Little Whale. I thought it was, oh, you know what I'm going to do though before I do the blue? Wow, I can't even get it to come out after doing that. It's been a while since I've used this. Okay. I'm going to do the words down here because they're white too. Wow. Come on. I might add just a little bit of dark blue to that. Okay, so I'm going to take my white. I'm going to move you down this way. And I'm going to do the white down here on the words. And I'm just going to real lightly, but like I said, since I've been using the gray, it doesn't show up like the white did at all. Like, is that outline? I like it a lot better. Get a little bit more white. I think I need to start turning my heat off in the garage before I do these. Well, the nice weather we've had is supposed to end. We're supposed to get a real bad snowstorm starting the first of the year, so January 1st. So there'll be we're supposed to get blizzard-like conditions and stuff. But usually when they say that, I don't know what it is. It's like when they don't predict it, that's when we get hit. But when they talk about it, and then everybody freaks out and runs to the store, which I don't know why if you've lived in this area long enough. Because you can always get out within usually a day's time. It's been rare. Now, there has been the one time we had 5 feet of snow, and yeah, that was bad. And I know Ashtabula County, which is the next county over, just got 5 feet of snow in November. But yeah, let me just get this stenciled in here, the words. I don't want to dip in my blue. I'm starting to sweat. I get nervous too. Believe it or not, I still get nervous doing this. I don't even know how many lives I've done, but I don't get nervous before like I used to. I used to almost have a panic attack before I do these. But when things don't go my way, which happens because I'm human just like you guys. You hate to be on camera when it happens, but it happens. You just do a shift change. So I'm going to go back up here. Hello, Gloria. How are you? Oh, you're going to get a lot of snow too? Yeah, you're so much further south. I don't see that at all. So let's get that right there on the robin again. And I'll try not to forget things again. I've got this blue here, and it's not quite, I don't know if I'm going to add just a little dark blue to it or a black. I have a really dark blue in here. There we go, deep midnight blue. I'm going to add just a little dab to it. Over here, I'm going to add it. And I'll get my brush, and I am going to use another 3/8 brush because that seems to be working really good. And I'm going to start like kind of adding this in here with this blue. I should use a palette knife. And just make it a little deeper. Because it's not quite the blue I want. I might add just another little dab. It's always better to add a little at a time than add a whole bunch. There, that's more like what I wanted. That's the blue I was looking for right there. See, I got that all the way up my brush and everything. Okay, and I don't have a blue that's quite like this. So I'm gonna have to get my, I'm gonna offload right there. And I'm gonna start just, I even wanted a little brighter than that. Doesn't look much different. Let me see, these stained glass, they always look a little bit of a mess. Hold on a minute here. That's not, I'm gonna try this one. Let's try this one. This is, it's still not very dark. This is winter blue. I'm gonna try that one. You can tell a little difference. I wanted it a brighter blue than that. Let me see here. Hold on a minute. Spa blue, I don't want that. I know what I'm gonna do. This is a turquoise blue. There. That's what I want. The turquoise blue is too, it's way too bright, so I'm going to tone it down. That's more the blue I was looking for. Okay. Third time's a charm. That's better. So we're going to start up here. There we go. That's a little brighter. Kind of like a bright winter day. Let's see, that's the branch. And that paint's still kind of wet there, so I'm just kind of moving paint around. And I'm going to go right here. But see, this 3/8, this is the perfect size for this, guys. Yes, that's a big area. I did get a little bit right there. But it really fits good on here without going over the lines. And if you had really little bitty pieces, you could also use a 1/4 inch too. There's a piece of sky. Yeah, that's sky right there. And I will be coating this with like a polyacrylic. I usually just spray my outdoor signs, but this is going to be outside. Like there's going to be no cover over it, anything, like no overhang, anything like that. So I am going to cover this with a clear matte polyacrylic, because I want to make sure this is sealed really good for outdoors, because it will be in the elements all year long. Did I? Yeah, I moved that back up. Okay. And I think I'll take that deep midnight blue. So this is, yeah, this is the sky. Yeah, this is a little bit brighter. I definitely wanted something this kind of blue. So does anybody have any plans for New Year's Eve? Yeah, the stencil is beautiful. We're going to do the same thing we do every year. We're going to probably be in our pajamas, watching TV, watching a movie. Well, heck, half the time we don't even make it up till midnight lots of times anymore. Okay, I'm just kind of got to get that in there. That's a little pop of blue there too. I'm just being careful because it's a real narrow piece, but it works really good. So another thing that you can clean your signs up with too lots of times is a toothpick. We'll clean it up. And then also if you make your mistake soon enough and you catch it, you can take a wet wipe, and that's like using an eraser. Your couch and your TV. Pete always. Oh, I know. Pete's amazing. Pete and April are just so talented. Even she'll write me little notes with stuff, like with all the stuff she sends for the lives and stuff. And I keep a lot of them. I keep most of them. They're here somewhere. I used to have them sticking to my tool chest, but they started falling off. Little Post-it notes. But even her handwriting is just beautiful. My handwriting does not look like that. Okay, so we're going to go, we got to do an orange beak, though. Do I have my, I don't have any, I like Fusion Mineral Tuscan. I use that a lot. I think I'll use, ooh, I don't know if I like that one, that one. I think I'm going to use this Warm Sunset. So this is Deco Arts Warm Sunset. Oh, Kelly, have a safe trip home. Thank you, Chris. It is sweet. I keep all your stuff, April. I have a little collage, a little April collage going. I'm going to use one of my real little bitty ones. My 1/4 inch. This is the smallest one, so I've been using the 3/8. So this is the 1/4 inch. This is the real small. Another stained glass. Oh, I can't wait. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this Warm Sunset in there. And like I said, just wait for the reveal. Stained glass, sometimes you're like, I know the first time I was doing the Oh Come Let Us Adore Him, I was like, ooh, I don't know if this is looking good. And then when you do the reveal, it's just like, it's a wow moment. It's so pretty. So, so pretty. Yes, if you haven't sprinkled, make sure to sprinkle. Let's see. This is the giveaway today. It's a little owl. I love you with Owl My Heart. This is one of my favorite ones. It's got two, I better turn it the right way, two overlays. It's super cute. I'm doing that one, like I said, on a, I should get it cut and sanded before the storm hits. There's nothing worse than being outside sanding when it's really, really cold outside. I'm not going to lie, Jeff does a lot of my sanding, if not most of it. But I used to do it. It helps so much when you have somebody who can help you do that. Because it's a lot of work from beginning to end. You know what? I'm going to take this one and I am going to downsize to a smaller one here too. I'm going to get another 3/8. So that's just the, at least for this size stencil. If it's a smaller one, you might need the 1/4 inch, but this 3/8 is going to work way better. It fits in there much better. We're going to take my grandson, my 15-year-old grandson, spending the night tonight. I'm going to remember the tail feathers this time, girls. I swear. And I got to remember to get the border, too. We're going to take him out for Mexican tonight. We've taken all the boys. We still have to do Finn. He's starting preschool January 6th, so I'm going to take him. Grandma's going to take him to get him a couple school clothes and take him to get him something to eat too, something special. I like to spend one-on-one time with him too sometimes when I can. It's just so fun, especially mine. There's 5 years between all of them, so they're what one wants to do is not nearly as thrilling for another one because there's such an age difference between them all. Multiple hummingbirds. Oh, that would be beautiful, hummingbirds. Yeah, I absolutely cannot wait to get those zip codes. And the mandalas or mandalas, I'm unsure. I think they're really mandalas. I may even be mispronouncing that, but I said mandala for so long until I heard somebody talking about it. I'm like, oh boy, I've been mispronouncing that. Just like Celtic. I was saying Celtic one live, but I think I like the Boston Celtics, and here it's Celtic. The things you learn. Hey, would you mind turning the furnace off? If you wouldn't mind. It really got hot in here. Jeff's getting our recycling out. It's recycling day today. We have to set an alarm usually for it now. We're getting used to it, but we've been in our house for almost 40 years now. And our garbage always went out Sunday night. And then the city got a garbage company. We couldn't choose our own, so we had to go with the city company, and they pick it up Monday night. And boy, that was the hardest thing. to get used to. So that's one of those things I had to set an alarm for every Monday because we would forget. You know, we would take it out too early and it'd be sitting there at the end of the driveway. It'd be like, oh. Okay, so let's get that. Let's get some more white and more blue, and then we'll add a little bit of highlights. Brown in the bark. Gosh, I'm so glad I saw that. Okay, traditional burnt umber. Should I go with that? I think I'm going to go with the traditional burnt umber for that. Let's do that. Thank you, April. Probably other people were telling me too, but I didn't see it. Excuse me, that's another thing. I can't see all your comments a lot of the time. And only if I glance up because I'm stenciling. And I'm going to use the 1/4 inch for this one because it's so small. The brown pieces are going to be all these little areas here. And I'm going to use traditional burnt umber for that. And you could even use your rake brush if you wanted and make like little lines in the tree. All kinds of cool things. Let's see. There. And there. Triangle looking one. It's mostly the triangles, I'm pretty sure, that are the brown area. Ooh, let's see. I'm going to do right there, I think. Because you don't want to do the whole branch. And I am kind of talking to you, talking to myself, which is par for the course. None there. I think I got them all. And of course, we'll have to go over that. We did the reds, so we'll do the white over. And then we'll do the blue, and we'll go back and do the brown. And this is the 3/8 brush. And I know it looks like a hodgepodge of a mess right now, but trust me, it's going to look really pretty when we pull it. We'll do a little bit of highlighting too, which always makes the stained glass look more like lights coming through it, you know, different areas and stuff like that. It gives it a really pretty look. Has anybody besides, I know Becca from Be Painting with Becca, she's done stained glass, but has anybody ever done stained glass before? That's something I haven't. I've done a lot of stuff, but that is not one of them. It appears like it would be fun. I've done glass like work for like resin, but not for, this would be pretty with a couple pieces of resin and resin too. This would be beautiful. And I haven't tried it with Deco Arts. Is this the one, Sherry, that you did on a window? This one, Sherry Crumb Caker. I bet that was pretty, Rhonda. Do you have any of it? Or Bronwyn? You did tons of stained glass. You have to really think, right, Nancy? Apparently talking and thinking, I missed a brown right there. At the same time, that looks like that needs to be a brown right there. Somebody might have told me you missed one. But I didn't hear them. And I think I started to say that earlier. That's something like if you have questions and I don't answer a question or April doesn't, especially me because I am looking down and every once in a while I glance up and I'll catch something, you know, that a question, or luckily I caught the April, like, you forgot the brown. But message me, because I don't, even if I would go back and look, I don't see a lot of the, Facebook can filter things in a weird way. I don't see a lot of the comments. They're out of order. So sometimes they don't even make sense. And sometimes there's hundreds and hundreds of comments. I just absolutely love the fact that everybody who's on here is so friendly and helps one another, and you've become friends. I think that is just absolutely awesome. It's such a nice group of girls that tune in every week. I enjoy every one of you, and I'm very lucky and privileged that you do take time out of your day to stop by. And I'm sure April feels the same way. But yeah, I'm placing an order on the 1st. I can't wait. Can't wait to get all my new stencils. Get my little sign made. I have so many stuff I wanted to get done this year, and it's the same thing. I always think there's time. I mean, doesn't it seem like you have plenty of time, and then you're like, what happened? Then it's like today, it's like it's going to be New Year's. And next thing you know, it'll be Easter. And, you know, it's just absolutely mind-blowing how quickly time passes, especially the older you get. Boy, the quicker it does go. And I'm just swirling that in there. And we're just going to use stencil brushes to do a little light shading today, to give it a little extra oomph when we're done here with our colors. I had the boys painting the other day, and they cracked me up because they got to have their apron on like grandma. Not the 15-year-old. He would be too cool, unless he had something he really didn't want to get dirty. You know, when they're 15. Remember when you were 15? You were oh so cool. Hi, Gail. How are you? I agree, Judy. I agree. So I'm going to turn you down here real quick and just do this saying one more time while we have the white out, and then we'll go back and finish our, and I'm not going to close the bridges today. We're just running out of time. But to close these bridges, since I did a base coat of gray first, which I will close them, I might close one or two, just a couple, but I will close them. But what I was going to say is I would go and I would start with the gray, and then I would do, because I started with gray first, and then I would do white over the gray. Because otherwise it's not going to look the same when you go to close it, because I use that gray base to start with. But I think this is going to be really pretty together. I know I did this with a couple other things. I want to say, I don't know what I did it with. I feel like I did it with angel wings once. which if you haven't seen April's Angel Wings, oh my goodness, they're gorgeous. They're so pretty. And again, you can get different sizes. And she has a set of angels too that are really pretty. Last year I took one of them and I traced it and scroll sawed it out and made an ornament with it. I got some little flakes of paint floating around there. And again, I'm just lightly, this will just be a 2-coater. Anybody else having anything good for dinner? We're going to do Mexican. So usually Jeff and I get a fajita for one and we just get extra shells and we split it because even the fajita for one is just huge. It's humongous. It's more than we can both eat. And I like to eat, so that's a shocker. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera back up here and we'll concentrate on the blue. I think it's going to be really pretty. I hope. Let's see. Let's get that right angle. Hope I'm not making anybody ill. Let's see. We need to do a coat of blue and another coat of brown. Let me find. There's my brush. Uh-oh, I dropped one. Which one did I drop? My big gray one, I can put that in there. I'm not going to use that one again. So again, this is that blue that I mixed up with a couple different blues because I didn't have quite the blue I wanted. And, oops, I got to stop. I'm going to get swirling and swirl right into my birch tree. Yeah, this made a pretty blue. Looks much better the second time around. And it's a mixture of, this ended up being a mixture of turquoise blue and winter blue. Because the turquoise blue is just too bright. So I love to read. And I'm reading a book right now. I really like the author, and I've read a lot of her books. It's, what is her first name? I think it's Leanne, maybe. Leanne Moriarty. She's an Australian writer, and the first book I ever read of hers was really a really good book. I can't remember the name of it, but it was a girl woke up and she was real young and she had went to a spin class, had an accident and hit her head, and she woke up and she thought she was like a newlywed, no kids, and well, she woke up in reality, you know, and in love, and everything was great in life, and she woke up and she was like 40 something and divorced and not a very nice person, and she couldn't figure out how she turned into the person she was. And it was a really interesting book. But the one I'm reading right now is like with a psychic, which it was just a weird, I didn't expect that. I didn't know anything about the book other than I liked the author when I picked it up. And it's a very strange book. A little creepy. But I'm not sure if I'm enjoying it or not, but I'm almost through with it. So, you know, you got to see it through and see the end. I usually like to read mystery books. Oh, I'm running out of there. It's getting too... I think I need a little bit more of a concoction. I didn't mix up quite enough. Hopefully I can get it close to the same shade. see where I left off, because that one, you know how wet paint always dries darker anyhow. I'm really excited to see the reveal here. And I'm just kind of swiping this one. It's rather small. And I'll start up here. I don't want to get too crazy. I'm swirling away and I don't want to swirl into the next thing. I think there's something very calming about swirling. I did that one, so we just need to do this one, I think. And then we'll do the brown and we'll do just a little light highlighting. Dry brushing with a stencil brush to add a little bit of color to everything. Let me get my, there's my brown brush. So I'm using this traditional burnt umber here, where I forgot. And this is the smallest brush. Getting all these little, boy, I'm glad you saw that, April. You can look at some things and sometimes and you just can't see it. I got to do another coat of that orange too on his beak, I think. And if your paint's not dry, it'll just push it around. Let me take a peek and see how that brown looks. It looks okay. I might want to do one more coat of brown. I think I need one more coat. I'm having a hard time this covering. Yeah, that does help, Debbie. Oh, Stephen King. I used to read him all the time. I loved, one of my favorite books of all time is Stephen King's The Stand. I don't know how many readers are out there, but that is like a favorite. And I'm just giving this a little pounce, like Debbie suggested. A little swipe there. But Stephen King is, I haven't read any of like his newer ones. But boy, back in the day, all his old ones like Cujo and Carrie. But The Stand was definitely my favorite. And that's a long book. It's like 1,000 pages or more. You got to really commit to that one. I think that will be, yeah. So I am going to do a little bit of orange here. Oh, I got orange out already. So I'm going to do just a little bit more orange on the beak. And I do have, like I said, my dad's phone out here ahead of time in case I have a mishap. I'm going to try, my thing keeps freezing up, so let's see. Go back to my secondary device here. Oh, that's crazy. Okay. That's not even helping. There we go. I think. I don't know. It went all the way back to the beginning. I tell you what, Facebook really needs to figure this out. Seriously. So I do want to take this brown, this burnt umber, and it's been offloaded. And I'm going to offload just a bit more. And I'm just going to swipe some areas lightly, like around the birch tree. You can do that, add a little bit of depth here and there. Boy, the sirens are going crazy outside. So I'm just doing a little bit like around the ends, kind of. And like I said, you could also take your rake brush out and you could add little lines in the tree too. I don't know if you guys can hear the sirens, but boy, they're going like crazy. A whole bunch of them. And we live in a residential neighborhood. So like just what was left on that, brush, of course I did take a lot off, is just enough to like dry brush a little bit of that brown on there, and it gives it just a little bit, maybe just a teeny bit more. Just a little bit of depth. It's hard to see on the camera, but it's so easy. I don't know if I got that. I don't think I got that one. Maybe I just need to go over it a little bit. But it really adds. And I'm going to add a little bit to this beak. On the bottom. I kind of darken the orange and then a little bit on the bottom. And then I want to add a little bit of really dark blue. Let me see where my dark blue is at. I have black. Oh, here's my dark blue. That might, you know what? Actually, maybe I'll add a little bit of this turquoise blue, see what that looks like. And I'm just going to get my glue brush I was already using. And I think I need just a titch of dark blue to that. Let me add both of them together. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing kind of to this. I want it a little bit of a drier brush. And I'm just kind of Adding a little bit of that darker color. Let me take a peek here. And you could just add it wherever you want. I'm kind of adding it like in the corners. And I don't know if that's quite dark enough. I think I want a little bit darker even. And you just want a dry brush. And if you don't like it, remember a wet wipe will remove a lot. And it will also, you could also just paint over it if you don't like it. But it does add a little bit. Yeah, I'm liking that better, the darker, a little bit darker. And it's just like a really, really dry brush. Let's see what I think about that. I'm taking a little peeky here. Does the outside red look? Yeah, I want to do a little black. You could just pull it. You could add some blue back in it. You know, some of the other color if you don't like it. If it ends up not being what you like. And I'm even dragging this a little bit through the middle. Of all of them. But it's a very, again, a very, very, very dry brush. As you can see, because you can still see the blue underneath that, and I think it's going to give it a lot of depth. Oh, I like that a lot. Okay, and I want to do a little black around the Cardinal. And I don't think I have a black out. Oh, I do. So this is lamp black, and I'm going to put just a little bit of black out, just a dab. And I am going to get another brush. It's another 3/8 brush. And I am going to really offload it. Sorry, guys. So you can see how I've really, really offloaded that there. And I'm going to add a little bit of the black. And I might get just a little bit more and offload again. Just keep doing it until you get what you're looking for. blue there. And it might take a couple coats to get exactly what you're looking for. And it's very hard, I think, for you to see too, probably. On the camera. And I think I might even add a little bit of black too on top of that brown. Just a wee little bit. And I'm talking wee little bit because this is almost completely dry. Okay. I think I got everything. And so that's kind of like a combo of the brown and the black. Okay, I'm ready for the reveal now, guys. You ready? Because if you've hung with me for this long, I sure appreciate it. Oh yeah, you could totally do that. Hi Tina, welcome. So this is the stained glass we've been doing. Let's see here. And it kind of looks kind of like a mess. Yes, welcome to the Stencil Smith family. And I'm going to take it off. And of course I will close my bridges and I will seal this. Oh, I think that turned out beautifully. I'm so happy with that. What do you think, girls? Oh, that just looks phenomenal. I'm so happy with that. Oh, look how pretty that turned out. And just that little bit of highlighting. See how that changed it up a little bit? And you could just keep working with it and working with it, changing it. If you don't like it, don't worry about it. You can paint right over it. But yeah, I really, really like that. I think that's going to look really pretty. I'm going to put, I think I'll put probably this, because this is going to be going outside at the cemetery. So this is probably the, usually I just use the spray, but I'll probably spray this, and then I'll probably also use the this polyacrylic. It's a water-based polyacrylic, just to give it extra oomph. And this I will be putting on stakes. I got to replace the sign. This will be going to the cemetery for my mom, but it'll be similar to that. We'll just, her sign is held up. It's just starting to get a little bit of wear after a little bit more than 3 years, so she needs a replacement, just like the flowers held up a lot longer than flowers. But I think that's going to look beautiful, and I think that would be a beautiful gift for anybody. It certainly would. But so this stencil is going to be on sale. No, I don't want to add eyes to it. I like it just the way it is. Very mysterious stained glass. I don't think eyes would look quite right. The size of my board, Mary Jo, it is a 1x12 and it's cut 29.25. Yes, it is. 29.25 inches long. So 29.25 inches long. and it's a 1x12 common pine. And I will seal, like I said, I will seal the picture. I may go back over and do the red one more time to get this really popping here. One more coat, but I won't do that on camera. And again, when I close the bridges, if you choose to close your bridges, because I base coated it in gray, I would base coat it in gray before you close them, and then close it with white. But I'm really liking that. I think that's really gorgeous. I think my mom would really like that. I think anybody would like it. It pairs perfectly with that. And both of them are on sale today and tomorrow for 20% off. So I have a couple stencils. So if you have not sprinkled, please sprinkle. Thank you so much. I know the saying below it is beautiful. Let me get them the right way. So this is the giveaway today. All you have to do is sprinkle. We appreciate sprinkles. Wouldn't that be beautiful, Rhonda? I think it would be really nice. Yeah, shading makes it look really, and that's an easy way to shade with your, even though it's not fall, guys, like the shading that I just did on that. So these leaves, I did this on a live. I know this isn't the time of the year, but I'm getting ready to do the flip side for somebody. See how I shaded the leaves, and I did that all dry brushing with stencil brushes. Yes, anytime, every Tuesday, Donna, every Tuesday, always the stencils, some of them, the primary one is always 20% off, but whatever's listed is 20% off, and then you get another 15% with my code Sign Shack. So let me get the stencils. I was going to show you some. So let me show you some. I know Christmas has passed. These were ones I was going to show you that I haven't got to show you. I had these to show the other day. I don't know how many I'll show, but we'll see. I had these to show for today and last week, but then I didn't do last week. And then the week before last, it went so long, which I know this is a long live too. Oh my goodness. Don't think his throat has been cut. I hope everything's okay. I hope, I hope that just means he thinks it is, not that it is. Yes, always the sale code you can use with my code. The only time it doesn't work is if they're having a sale and like they have like a save 30 or save 25 or whatever, you know, like on a spring sale or this sale, you can't stack my code with that. You have to use one or the other. But anytime you order, you can save 15% with Sign Shack. And then with this, every Tuesday, anything you order, even the sale stuff. Okay, good. You had me worried there for a minute, Bonnie. I was like, oh, that sounded horrible. I read that and then I read it again. So I'm going to show you a couple. And like I said, I know Christmas has passed, but these were ones I had gotten and I wanted to show you, but I did not get a chance to. So I'll show you a couple of them. So this one I thought was cute. The gingerbread. Gingerbreads are always cute. And I know it's past, but look how cute that is. The gingerbread with the little icing. And that is just adorable. And that is number 9820. I think I'll show you a couple of these and then I'll show you some of the memorial ones I have. So, and then this one was super cute. Old-fashioned horse-drawn sleigh rides and hot cocoa. This would make a cute tray. Oh my goodness. That's so funny, Rhonda. And this is really cute. Bonfire, gives you all the feels. This is 9803 and this is a small. I would get a bigger size if I was going to do a tray though. It's hard to believe Christmas came and went so fast. Now this is adorable, and I don't know if this is the one that somebody just did in the group or not. But this is definitely one that is not just Christmas. Of course, we're going to have snow. It's winter now. But this is adorable. Snowballs for sale, hand-packed with freshly fallen snow, and then look, it's got the overlays. So you've got the 5 cents down here, and you can see the little snowmen. And I think it was Beth that did this in the group. It was just absolutely gorgeous. I think this was the one. And then look at the little snowmen. They're so cute. I mean, it is adorable. Adorable, adorable. So that one, and that one is numbers. So that would be still good to do. That one is number 9819, and it's a small, and it'll say there's 2 pieces to it, because that'll tell you there's 2 pieces to it. But it's just so cute. And then let me see what other snow ones I hear. We'll try to stick to the snow ones. That's kind of Christmassy. This is adorable. Let's see, I got it backwards. Let It Snow. With just the little snowmen, and then see the overlay. You know, it'd be flat against your board. It's just like they're peeping over the board. Number 9805, and this is an extra small. Which one did you do? The 5 cent one, Sherry, or the Let It Snow one? I can't remember because you do a lot. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, I got this. I got this to do for my grandson for Christmas, and I did not get it done. But he's not little, but he's still a rock star. But he plays the guitar, and he's getting really good at it. So, of course, I'm going to take the word little off because he would be like, Grandma, in his very deep 15-year-old voice. That's already changed. This is number 1885, and this is 11.25 inches. The 5 cent one, okay. But I'm going to do this on a pillow for him for his bed. I thought that would be super cute. And then that's Christmassy, that's Christmassy. This is definitely Christmassy. Let's see what. Yeah, that's Christmassy. We'll save those for next Christmas. Cocoa. Okay, so let me see real quickly here if I can grab my memorial ones. I'll show you just a couple of those. Here we go. And then we'll call the winner for the giveaway. This is really pretty. Let me find the number. This is number 8637. And this was, you were my favorite, hello, and my hardest goodbye. This is adorable. And it is number, it's a small. I think I said that. I gave you the number, but this is a small. You're working on the 5 cent one. I want to do it. I want to do them all, but there's never enough time. And then this one is really pretty. These are all memorial ones. Let me just feel around to see what number they are. Okay, and this is number 4626. This is a small, and it's because someone we love is in heaven. There's a little bit of heaven in our home, and it's really pretty. This would go really pretty with the angel wings too, or the angels. And of course, doesn't everybody wish this? 2671. It's 11.25 inches. I wish heaven had visiting hours. And the fonts on them are just beautiful. April does such a good job on all the fonts. And then when a cardinal visits, appears in your yard, it's a visitor from heaven. And it's got the cardinal, and that's got the overlay with it, the little up here. And that's number, let's see. There it is, number 4545, and it's a small. That's really pretty. But I mean, just look at that D and the H. Or not the H and the N, just the font and the curves and all that stuff. It's just so pretty. And I'll just show you these last two here, and then we'll pull for the winner. So, oh, we did this on Alive. So we did these two on Alive. And I did this and I made a doorknob for it. Made it like a garden gate door, but the shortest path to heaven is through a garden gate. Right there. And that one's really beautiful. Some of you might already have this one because we did do that on Alive. And it's number 8685. And then one more, and we did this one on Alive too, I think around last Christmas time. And I did gift this to somebody in my family who had just lost their husband. We did it with a real pretty wreath on top. I'll tell you what it is in a minute as soon as I find it. This is a large, and it's number 3903, and this is a large. Christmas in Heaven. It's got the little rocking chair there, and that's a really pretty one. But they're all beautiful, and there's so many more, I'm sure. I have a whole nother sleeve of them, but I'm not going to keep you for super long, but they're all beautiful. And the last two I showed you, we did do lives on those. So let me just, right here, this is the giveaway today, which is super cute. I think she made this one last year. She designed this one. It's I Love You With All My Heart with the owl. And I think this is really, really cute. Sherry's doing the drums. My phone worked all the way through. Oh, I'm so excited for you, Rhonda. It's so nice. It's so nice. Really, really nice. So April, we're ready to pull whenever you're ready to pull. Yeah, the owl is super cute, Maggie. So I'm just waiting for the winner. It landed on Julie Zello. Julie, you are the winner. And good luck to you with your cardiac therapy. I didn't know that. I hope all is well and you're getting better. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, owls are beautiful. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And we'll be back next Tuesday at our regular time at 4 p.m. EST. And we'll have a really cute live for next week. And we're going to work with the rake brush next week. So we'll see you then. Thank you and have a great, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. See you next year, right? Bye-bye.